Hello, my name is Jeffrey Scott, and today I decided to do my presentation over the Megalodon. I decided to do my presentation over this because I wanted to do something that wasn't as broad. When I first did the assignment that we did, where we kind of, got the idea of what kind of topic we wanted to do, I was just going to talk about the vertebrates, and you suggested that I do something that wasn't as broad, so that was the Megalodon, and I just think that it's kind of cool and kind of ironic that I decided to do this and take this class because I have a huge phobia of marine life. So it's just going to be kind of cool for me to dive into the sea life and to talk about something that scares me, but it's just going to be kind of good to see that I have knowledge in it. So, the megalodon is a big species of shark. In fact, it is the biggest species that has ever been founded, and it's just really big. As you can see here in this picture, the megalodon was founded by a person finding their tooth. As you can see here in this picture below, on this side is the megalodon tooth, and on this side is a regular shark tooth. And you know how big sharks are. So for you to see the comparison of the two, that just shows you how much bigger a megalodon is. And I just think that that is really cool, if you can see. The word megalodon literally means big tooth. So the shark is named after Big Tooth. So I thought that was really cool to put in there, and that was something cool that I found in my research. The megalodon weighs 70 tons. That is a lot. That is more than a dinosaur. Yes, a dinosaur. When I think of dinosaur, I think of something that is big, something that is dangerous, something that is going to rip me and eat me alive. And that is exactly what the megalodon is going to do. So, yeah, so I'm glad to say that we do not have to worry about this because they are in fact extinct. Both of them are extinct exactly. So as you can see here in this presentation, you can see the comparison of the two, and the megalodon is much bigger than the T-Rex or the Trion. I can't say it, Tyrannosaurus Rex, but I just that's really crazy to me how many creatures can be in the sea life, and we never know what's down there. But for us to find the megalodon tooth, and for us to know that there was a shark that was much bigger than the whale sharks, which is the biggest sharks out there. So I just thought that was very cool, and here's the comparison of the two. Um, as you can see here, you can see a woman standing inside of what would be the frame of the megalodon's mouth. The megalodon has about 250 teeth, and once they lose a tooth, they can regenerate and they can get the tooth back. They have so many different rows of teeth, unlike us humans. The megalodon can fit up to two people standing side by side, but in this picture, it looks like it can definitely swallow a bunch more. And that is very crazy. Just her standing just right in the middle, like it's a door. But that's how big the mouth is, and I just thought that was very cool. And for them to have so many rows of teeth is a lot to take in. Here in this picture, you can see a guy holding the teeth. This is, of course, the tooth of the extinct shark. The sharks went extinct because of a lot of reasons, and there's just not one reason that caused them to go extinct. There's just like this here, this here, this here. And because the species was so big, they all just kind of played together and just unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but fortunately, they became extinct. This guy here, you can kind of see him holding them, and it's just really cool that these teeth could have been from 2 to 20 to 30 million years ago, and just to know that these are still here from that long ago is very cool. Here I kind of talked about how the great whales had an impact on their extinction. The great whales are very much more faster, and just because, like I said, the megalodons are warm-blooded, and when a shark is warm-blooded, they are able to move around quicker. The megalodons are 13 or 13 more percent Fahrenheit than the water, so they're able to move around. But because they are so big and because it's so hard for them to move around, it can be hard for them to get their food. The megalodons feed off of whales, and the great whales tend to eat the little food that they would eat here and there. The megalodons are carnivorous, so they will eat anything that they can fit into their mouth. But because the great whales would always, swim around and swoop the food from them, it would be hard for the megalodons to eat and they will tend to starve. As I talked about here, I also talked about the dermal denticles, and this is basically the scales that they have on the bodies to make them swim faster. And the great whales did this while eating the baby megs. Right here, there's a picture of the megalodon, and you can see just a regular shark here. And you can also see a shark going into the mouth of the megalodon. I thought this picture was really cool to put to show how big the shark is, but you can see how hard it would be for them to kind of swim around and get the food that they need. Another reason of their extinction is because of the oxygen levels. Big animals like this, they need a lot of oxygen, and for it to be that unnecessarily big, they need a ton of oxygen. Over the decades, oxygen levels have gone down, which causes sea levels to go down as well. This causes a rise in sharks and other shark species and a decrease in the megalodons, and eventually to become extinct like they did. This here is talking about the great whales. I just forgot to click the button. But yes, in conclusion, I just wanted to say that the cause of extinction for the megalodons are the great whales eating the baby megs and eating all the food and causing the whales to starve and not be able to get the nutrients that they need. And also, when they don't have enough oxygen and when they don't have enough food, this causes them to move slow and they're not able to just move around like they could. I would think of it as like a domino effect. If the shark is too big, it's not going to be able to swim to get the food that it needs. But if they don't have enough oxygen, this will also cause them to not have enough energy to get their food. There was this site that I saw, and it kind of talked about how everyone thought that they had saw or sighted a megalodon, and I just kind of thought that this is really cool to talk about right now because it wasn't a megalodon. It was a great whale, but it was a female great whale. The female great males are bigger than the male, as it stated, and it was just so close, so far from being as big as the megalodon, which is huge, and it is the biggest female great whale that has ever been seen. But so no, the megalodons are in fact extinct, and I'm so happy to be able to do my research over this, and I feel like a pro after knowing all of these things, and I hope that my audience watching me was able to gather some great information, and I'm very glad that I was able to present this to you today. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.